Thanks for tuning in again, folks. This is Foley Engines, the oldest engine distributor in North America. Founded in 1916, we are a family-owned, three-generation business specializing in industrial engines, exhaust scrubbers, and industrial power takeoff clutches. We've been getting daily phone calls requesting technical assistance regarding Deutz 1011 and 2011 series timing belts. We felt obligated to make this tech tip video with step-by-step instructions on how to complete the job from start to finish. Let's get started. Today we're working on a Deutz model BF4L 1011F. Please keep in mind that all 1011, 1011F, and 2011 series timing belts, 2 through 4 cylinder configurations, are removed and replaced in the same fashion. We are going to start by removing the crankshaft pulley. It's very important that you remove the 8 bolts around the larger center bolt. Do not remove the center bolt. Removal of the center crankshaft bolt will create timing issues that we won't have time to discuss in this video. Once the crankshaft pulley is removed, the remainder of the plastic timing covers can be taken off as well. Some of you watching may have the timing belt still intact, while some of you may have had the misfortune of the belt coming off while the engine was running. For those of you doing preventative maintenance, let's take the belt off. This is completed by first easing the tension pulley and then removing the belt, which can be done by hand. If the timing belt broke while the engine was running, you will skip this last step. Next, you will need to change the rocker shaft tower bolts in order to replace all of the push rods. These engines are an interference fit, which signifies the fastening between two parts achieved by friction after the parts are pushed together. And therefore, these two items will have bent and stretched when the valves hit the pistons. Let's keep pushing forward. We're now going to find the alignment holes that Deutz tapped into the block for the camshaft and crankshaft alignment pins. Shown first is the crank pinhole, which is located on the front right side of the engine, and following that is the cam pinhole, which is located on the back left side of the engine. We will now rotate the engine by hand to correctly set the pins one at a time. Always make sure that A, you rotate the engine by hand, never use the starter, and B, make sure the pins are fully screwed in. Do not forget to install the new tensioner pulley. This is included with all of our Foley Engines timing belt kits. Since your alignment pins have been properly installed in the engine, and you have changed the tensioner pulley, let's go ahead and reinstall the new timing belt. Now for the trickiest part. We supply an OTC belt tension gauge with our works kit. When used with our instructional guide that is included with our kits, this gauge is unparalleled in utility and affordability. Simply install the belt tension gauge in the location as shown. Then, rotate the belt tensioner until the gauge needle is right at the starting point in the green area of the gauge. Lastly, lock the tensioner in place by tightening down on the bolts. You may now remove the tension gauge. At this point, it's important that you remove both alignment pins. We will now rotate the engine a full 360 degrees in order to recheck the tension, which we will do using the same method. Leave the tensioner bolt tight this time, unless of course you need to correct the adjustment. As you should see on your gauge after the full engine rotation, the needle is still pointed toward the starting point of the green area. Finally, reinstall the valve cover, plastic timing covers, and crankshaft pulley, but most importantly, put that machine back to work and go make some money.